light shines so bright, you might go blind, blind, blind.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the finance blog for you. On this channel we talk about accounting and finance related topics. We also do talk about studying abroad. In today's episode I have a very special guest with me. So he is in the person of Emmanuel Odum, MBA. He is also known as Mayo back in the days when we were in university. And then Mayo was the ex-president of the Castle Hayford Hall, which is also known as Casford in the University of Cape Coast. He is the ex-president of the University of San Francisco Student Senate. Now, we would like to talk about Emmanuel's MBA or Masters of Business Administration experiences, the challenges he encountered, the application processes, and also any lessons that he has learned. Thank you very much, Emmanuel, also known as Mayor, for honoring our invitation. So, Emma, could you please introduce yourself and the course you studied as well?
Okay, so I'm called Emmanuel Odum. Um, my background is that I'm from UCC. I pursued Bachelor of Commerce, like the way you did. We were classmates, and from there I worked in UCC for a while before pivoting to do my MBA in the University of San Francisco. So as a student, I am into student leadership. So back in UCC, I was a Hayford Hall president for 2016-2017 academic year. And also when I came to the US to pursue my master's degree, I didn't drift from that. I still continue with it. So I was the president of the Graduate Student Senate. That is something little about me for now in terms of student aspect. But for now, I'm trying to do something myself. I believe that education is about we transforming our future. And so I'm trying to do some startups, one called Upfront and another an NGO too. So that is what basically I'm into for now. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's very interesting profile and background. So, when you applied to the University of San Francisco, could you please let us know what are some of the factors that you had to consider when you were choosing a university program?
Okay, so in choosing university program, most people really consider scholarships, whether the university has scholarship to provide for them. Additionally, people look at the location, people look at the money involved, the living expenses and all, and also whether the program that you want to do, the university requirement makes it lenient for you to be able to get in. So that was the same thing that I was looking at applying to the University of San Francisco. I'm somebody who loves tech, who loves entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So, and I know that California is Silicon Valley. So applying to the university, those were the things that were resounding in my mind. I want to see great things. I want to, experience
Yeah.
stuff. So that was basically how come I brought it down to the University of San Francisco. And one great thing is that during the COVID, they were lifting so many things. So this requirement of GRE and all, like during the COVID, was lenient. So,
Oh,
it was basically part of the reason why I chose to pursue my university here in the University of San Francisco. I just applied for, I think, 3 schools, one in Germany, one in UK, and one in US. So I got rejected by the UK because they told me my working experience is not up to, even though like my educational stuff and all were on point, they told me my working experience is not up to 3 years or so.
oh,
Okay, cool. So the US one came and I got qualified, and I'm like, okay, let's
oh,
let's
yeah.
let's, let's just do this. Yeah.
And in the United Kingdom, was it also an MBA? Because you did mention your experience.
Yes, it was an MBA. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, I suppose you need some number of years of experience before you can do an MBA.
Yes, depending on the school. Some people say 2 years, at least 2 years working experience or 3 years working experience. So it
Oh,
also counts a lot. Yeah, working experience counts.
oh, okay. That's very interesting. Thank you. And so you did mention that you were the president of the Graduate Students Senate of the
Yes.
University of San Francisco.
Yeah.
So being the president and then being a student, how were you able to combine these two activities?
The US studies in the US is very flexible, and it
Oh,
gives you the opportunity to be able to do extracurricular activities.
yep.
For instance, in a week, you could just go to class maybe on Monday, Tuesday, and maybe on Thursday. So you have Wednesday, Friday free to yourself to do all other things that you want to do in addition to your assignments and all. And
Oh,
with our background in UCC, we've really experienced all the hardships and you know
definitely.
the training that
On
we
quizzes. Yeah.
yeah, um doing this thing was a little challenge.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and do your stuff, and so that
Oh,
was how we're able to combine it. Yeah, in sometimes too it was very difficult because you have to organize programs, you have to attend meetings, and you have a class, so you need to choose between one. But you
yeah.
need to shoot the lecturer an email that, hey, we have maybe a board of trustee meeting, so I cannot be able to come to class today, and they understand it's all part of it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're
Yeah, this reminds me of the time when I was in Germany, because it was very similar to what you just said, where you don't have to go to lectures every single day of the week.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was a big surprise, and it was a shock to me, that I don't need to be in class every single day of the week.
Hmm.
And it
Yeah.
was flexible online. University of Cape Coast.
It was.
You need to wake up at dawn to go and write quizzes and those kind of stuff.
Charlie, don't quizzes.
What we are talking about.
Yeah.
Uh, thank you very much. And in terms of so admission requirements, did you have
Hmm.
to do anything like GRA or GMAT? And also, did you do any recommendation letter and personal statement, those kind of things? How was
Yeah.
it like?
Yeah. So thank you very much. So in applying to the US for US schools, you need recommendations, at least two recommendations. You need your transcript.
Yeah.
You need your university certificate. You need to scan your transcript and your university certificate.
Okay.
Also, you need to write. Some schools requires you to write exams. If it's GRE, if it's GMAT, you need to get it. I wrote GRE, but I
Yeah.
didn't actually use it. Um, yes, so these are the things, and you need to write an SOP, statement of purpose.
Okay.
So you have to make sure you have all these things. That, particularly your statement of purpose, your transcript. Some schools requires you to evaluate your transcript.
Oh, okay. I see.
And most Ghanaians, I would say that even if they tell you to evaluate or not, try to evaluate your transcript. And some of the websites that people use is WES. I don't really know the full name is, I think World Education Services or something like that. So you used to evaluate your transcript to make it equivalent to the US standard. So if you are fortunate and you went to UCC,
Mm-hmm.
ours is CGPA, so it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
So if you evaluate it, maybe if you are in second class lower, you could come to second class upper or something like that.
Oh,
So I'll tell people that it's good you evaluate your transcript. It's expensive, but traveling abroad to pursue education is expensive. Let
yeah.
nobody lie to you that it's not costly. It's costly. You're going to spend a lot. So just be determined and just do it. Evaluation, just evaluate your transcript, and it gives you an upper hand over other students who didn't do it. So I would suggest that people do it. I didn't do it, but I would suggest that people do it. Yeah, if
Oh,
only if you have the means, you do it, and it gives you a much more leverage over other people. Yeah.
oh,
So those are
that's
the things that you need. You need recommendations. I know in Ghana it's difficult to get recommendations from
yeah,
lecturers.
yeah,
So if somebody is watching me today and you are currently a student, I'll tell you to build good rapport with your lecturers.
it's
Um,
very, yeah,
it's it's very, 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 very important to build good rapport. It's not necessarily for you to be academically good in class before you could build a good rapport with your lecturers. Just
yeah.
say hi, how are you doing? Checking up on you and those kind of things is really, really, really helpful. It's
Oh,
really, really helpful. Yeah, because just one lecturer not sending a recommendation to you can go a long way to worry you.
oh,
So
yeah,
yeah, I would suggest that people have a good relationship with their lecturers when it comes to recommendations. When it comes to transcript, even you applying for transcript is also another difficult thing.
yeah.
So um, when you're in the university, just create good rapport with people in management and all. When you need these kind of things, it becomes very easy for you to be
Oh,
able to go through. Yeah, so you need recommendation letters, you need transcripts, you need to evaluate your transcripts, you need to have GRE or GMAT depending on the school. And GRE, GMAT, the GRE, for instance, the most difficult thing for we the Ghanaians is the English
Yeah,
um,
yeah, 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 yeah.
aspect. But just give it a try. Nobody knows. It can
Def-
go well for you. Yeah.
def-
And even if you don't do it, but you are somebody who likes to school a lot, if you want to do your PhD, you still need a GRE.
yeah,
So
right.
it's good you take it, and it takes like 5 years to expire. So it's good you take it.
Yeah.
And yeah. And one last thing was the SOP. Yeah, so you need to have an SOP. And now there is nothing too difficult about SOP.
Okay.
Just write your thoughts, give it to ChatGTP or these AI platforms, and they transform your thoughts and make it better. I'm
Yeah.
not saying type into ChatGTP, hey, give me an SOP. No, that's wrong. But
Yeah.
write something small, type something small,
Yeah.
maybe about yourself, your educational background, blah blah blah, your visions and
Yeah.
all. Just give it to ChatGTP, and it will refine it for you.
Refine
That
it.
is
Yeah.
how we use this AI. So people going about copying people's stuff and all is not important. Now all
Yeah.
those things, yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
those are the requirements that are needed. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's very true. And then thank you for touching on the point where you made mention of building connection with your lecturers
Yeah.
and people as well, because I mean information is very key. And
Yeah.
knowing people can make a big difference. So
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah.
So moving to the next thing, I would like to touch on the timeline and deadline. So
Okay.
in terms of the application process, was there any like deadlines, or was there any important, timelines that you had to adhere to?
Yes, there are. If you want to come to school in the fall, which is somewhere August, that means
Okay.
that you need to get your admission and all. Like you need to submit your admission maybe somewhere by 31st of August, thereabout. You need
Yeah.
to have submitted it, and the decisions come somewhere April, May for you to be able to have time to do the visa processes to come. You know, there is also spring, which starts somewhere January, February, thereabout. So those people, you need to make sure around these times your application, um, you know, you are almost done with submitting your application. So somewhere by August, sorry, September, November, thereabout, your
Okay.
visa processes can go through, and yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
those are actually the times and the deadlines. And each and every university to have their different deadlines.
Yeah.
So I would suggest that if you're applying to the school, just go online, check their dates. It might be different from what I'm saying on my university. So
Yeah.
just check the dates and make sure you have it stored on your phone. Now there
Yeah.
is calendar, so just make sure there is a reminder for you when it's getting closer, like you know what to do. This brings me to the aspect of most people, we take for granted the resources that we have at our hands. So,
Yeah.
like for instance, we have a phone, it has reminders and all. Just put these important dates there. Maybe in the first week, you have to be done with your transcript, you have to be done, blah, blah, blah. It keeps you in check and it helps you to know what you are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, that is what I could say for the dates and the deadlines. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Welcome.
The calendar thing is very key. I mean, so that you don't miss anything. Even in your
Yeah.
personal, you can put certain things in your
Yeah.
calendar just to be organized and then to be able
Yeah.
to do things according to timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So, in terms of costs, can you give us like roughly the estimate for, let's say, your tuition, your living expenses, and other fees, so that someone who is looking at moving to the US to pursue a master's or MBA will have a fair idea of what to expect?
Okay, so I would say that MBA is very expensive in the US. It's very expensive, and it's a course that you wouldn't get the much more scholarships that you need. So
Okay.
if anybody wants to apply for an MBA or maybe business related courses, just have in your mind that you might get a partial scholarship. It might not be full, so don't be bothered about it.
Okay.
And aside you having a partial scholarship, there are graduate assistantship opportunities that various universities give. With
Yeah.
my university, you wouldn't get a graduate assistantship before you come to school. You
Okay.
only get an assistantship when you're on campus. So there are so many job opportunities on campus that you could apply and you get access to work for like 20 hours in a week.
Okay.
So don't let you getting a partial scholarship discourage you from pursuing your educational program, especially if you're a business person and if you want to go into business. Aside, let me drift away a little bit. Aside this scholarship and this assistantship, there are
Mhm.
also other educational loans that you can go for.
Oh,
If you do an MBA, you can never go wrong at the end of the day,
yeah,
unless you are somebody who is lazy and don't want to progress. So surely you are going to earn income, let me say, averagely like $70,000 or $80,000 that could help you fund the necessary things that you are doing. So I'll tell anybody out there that take that bold step. Nobody knows what is happening. Nobody knows what is going to happen in future.
yeah.
It's good you take actions than not taking an action. So if particularly you want to do an MBA, if you don't get scholarships, if you get partial scholarship, there are graduate assistantship opportunities on campus. Also, you can look at other alternative way of funding your education.
Oh,
So yeah, don't be worried much about that. So averagely, I would say that like around $60,000 to $70,000 for a
oh,
year. This is inclusive of your cost of living for
50.
the yeah, 50 to 60 to 70,000. Like it's inclusive of your cost of living. So
Okay.
cost of living too is dependent on where you find yourself, the location. So if you're
Yeah,
in places like California and New York, know that it's going to be very expensive. But if you are in, excuse me to use the word, remote areas, it's going to be less expensive.
yeah,
So it's dependent. So if you are applying for universities, you need to look at all those things and
yeah,
where you want to have your education. But for me, I'll tell you that being in California opens your mind a lot.
yeah, yeah,
Sorry
yeah.
for sorry for promoting California, but let me say
Ah, I
it.
get it.
It's expensive, but it opens your mind to so many other things
Yeah,
and so many resources that are available.
and
So
as
and
well.
opportunities too. So
Yeah,
just look at it like that.
yeah.
Don't just look at the finances aspect of it, but look at the the opportunities that it may give you at the end of the day. Yeah.
Of course, of course. Yeah.
Uh,
Because for me, I also studied in Germany, and then where my university is located is quite remote.
mm-hmm.
In terms of even looking for a job, you are very much restricted.
Yeah.
So you go for all these like restaurants and all these easy
Yeah.
access.
Yeah.
Whereas yeah, in places like Berlin, you have
Mm,
like access to wide range of opportunities and then job vacancies.
yeah.
So of course it comes with the cost, but then
Mm,
there's also the opportunity side of
yeah.
things.
Attached to
So
it. Yeah.
I definitely understand what you are talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice one. And so in terms of your course structure, how
Mm-hmm.
was, and also in terms of like workload and then your academic expectation, could you please walk us through that aspect?
Okay. So I would say that for me, my understanding of education is different.
Okay,
Like um I don't want to be called the best of students. If it happens, that is fine. But
yeah,
I'll try to maintain myself and be in an appropriate place that at the end of the day I'm safe, I'm cool. I don't
yeah,
want to pass. I'm sorry, I don't want to fail, but like something that
of course,
I could use my something for. So that is that for me. And also our courses are structured in a way that so, for instance, my program was a STEM related program.
okay,
So, let me drift away a little bit. If you're applying to schools in the US, they are STEM related programs, and they
okay,
are, let me say, should I use the word normal? Um, Maybe I might be wrong, but there are other programs that are not STEM related. So,
okay,
with STEM related, I know we are going to talk about OPT later, but with STEM related, it gives you some form of advantages a little bit.
yeah,
So my program was mainly STEM related. So you do courses like Python, you do SQL, you do Tableau, you do what else? Business analytics using Jump, JMP. I don't know whether you've heard of JMP.
no,
Like we do a lot more of technical stuff. Even though
oh,
you are going to learn about leadership, you are going to learn about agile management, project management, and all, but it's more like technical. So that is how my courses were structured. And I
oh,
think MBA, if you want to do like STEM, you need to have like 52 hours. Is it credit unit or hours? Credit unit or hour, any of them, however you want to call it, like
well,
52 credit units before you could earn that STEM. But if you don't want STEM, it's much more lesser. So that was how our courses were structured.
okay,
We did a lot more in our first semester. When going forward, it reduces, but
Oh,
it's also how you want to structure your courses. So we
yeah,
choose courses ourselves. So if you want
yeah.
to do more this semester and have less the next semester, you could have it. And in my school, it was like modular kind of style. So maybe even in four, we have the first model and the second model. So
Okay,
your first model you can pack it with, let's say, three, four courses, and in your second model you just pack it with two. Yeah.
okay,
So, but it's all, you also have to have it in mind that you are supposed to complete school in 2 years. So if
okay.
you want to do 52 credit units, by the end of 2 years, will you be able to have it? So you have to make sure you structure yourself well. And I'm sure every school has this kind of portal that you could check your credit units, how you're going, how you're doing, the courses that you can take in addition and all. So that was basically how it was. Yeah. And in my school, most of the things, aside being technical, were practical, and
Oh,
a lot practical. So there are some courses that you pick that they connect you with maybe a startup or an NGO or something, then you work with them. So this gives you like kind of hands-on experience. So
okay,
my last project, if I remember, we worked with one company that was that is a startup that is coming up that is dealing with EV batteries.
okay.
Wants to do something about battery that is being portable. So we were doing to go market analysis for them in terms of how they can go about these things. And
Interesting.
another one too that we did before that was like my team got a modular kind of a company that deals in modular homes. I don't know whether you've heard of prefab homes, this tiny homes kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So we dealt with them. So
yeah.
it gives you hands-on experience, and
And
you talking to somebody who is an entrepreneur, CEO, and all. It makes you feel alive.
you
If
can
you are
relate.
yeah, if you are somebody who is into entrepreneurship and all, it makes you feel great.
Oh,
Um, my last course was a capstone course that was basically about NGO. So
mhm.
we were supposed to work with an NGO and help them in doing something. So at the end of the day, I had an idea myself to have an NGO by myself.
Oh, wow, that's
So
nice.
that was how come I
You,
started the NGO. Yeah.
oh, okay,
So
that makes sense.
yeah, it builds something in you, something up in you. You
Yeah,
find a gap and you try to solve it. Yeah. So
it's nice. It sparks some kind of like interest or,
yeah, yeah,
it's still in you. Oh,
yeah,
okay. That,
yeah.
and I'm guessing because it's an MBA, so it's more
Mhm.
practical.
Yes,
For me,
yes,
it wasn't an MBA, so I'm guessing I wouldn't have a lot of like practical stuff
uh,
like, so that makes sense. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Nice, nice. Lovely.
Let me also chip this in that if you come to campus, um, there are so many things that goes on, so many programs and all that goes on that are academically related. So in my school, there's a startup club. If you
Yeah.
want to be interested in startup things, you could start from there.
Yeah.
There is also I've forgotten the name, but it's called Malloy Group.
Okay.
So this Malloy Group, it's like they start like a 1 month process, but they meet maybe particularly one Saturday and they get the agenda done. And it's form of consulting. So the lecturer or the man in charge brings these companies and
Mm-hmm.
they solve issues for them. So
Okay.
there are so many resources on campus that can help build you up and spark your interest. I think I did financial related stuff also in my concentration,
Mm-hmm.
and there was this CFA challenge that was going on. The lecturer said, "I'm like, okay, let's do it." So
Okay.
there are a lot of things that goes on that
Yeah.
as a student you could position yourself very well to be a part of it. Yeah, it's not like you just came to school to read the books, but
Read it.
be
Yeah.
involved. Yeah.
I think this really sounds interesting. I might even consider, taking an MBA
Yeah,
because
you
that's
should. You should.
something.
MBA is
Uh,
nice. MBA is nice.
okay, okay, okay. That's really nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
the models, did you have the option of choosing some of the models? Because in my case, you can choose and pick certain models and leave some. I don't know how it works in the US.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. So there are some things. Let me put it this way: the models is two. Like every in fall you have two, in spring you have two.
Okay.
Yeah, so the models are two, but within the models you have courses that you're supposed to pick.
Oh,
So there are some courses that are fundamental courses. So you cannot do away with them. As an MBA student, you need to do them before you could add those STEM courses and all to it. So courses like in leadership, it's compulsory. You're going to do it.
okay.
I've forgotten some of the courses though, but there are some like financial, yeah, financial management or something. It was fundamental. We all did it. You cannot run away from it because you need that knowledge, whether you've been a business student before or not. And
Yeah.
let me say this that masters is not necessarily about your background. So it's not necessarily that maybe I'm a become student, so compose you have to do like MBA. No,
Yeah.
people from engineering, people from everywhere can do MBA.
Okay.
You can do any course that you want to do in your masters. Just that you should have certain little bit of knowledge or interest in it. So me, for instance, if I want to do information systems, I could do certain things in relation to ICT if I
Okay.
want to do it as a master's program. Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily that you have to be a computer science student before you could do maybe an information system. It doesn't work like that. So anybody can do anything. So anybody can do an MBA. Yes.
Okay.
So when you come, there are some fundamental courses that we all do that helps to build you up to that level that they want to build you up. So you do some form of financial management, you do some form of communication, you do some form of leadership, you do some form of if my lecturers are listening to this, they'll be like, "Hey, Emmanuel, you've forgotten your courses." You do some form of strategy and those kind of things. So yeah, those are like your fundamentals. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
before you accept the STEM courses and all, in addition to moving forward. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
So, in terms of culture, can you take us through the culture and the on campus, and then as an international student? Because moving from Ghana to US, I'm guessing you had so many cultural shocks. So, what are the cultural shocks that you went through?
Charlie, let me use this to the first cultural shock is like here, if in Ghana, if you snap, what's the meaning of snapping?
It's like you are clapping or something.
Thank you. But here, if
Yeah,
you snap, you are telling the person to hurry up,
hurry up. Yeah.
and they will get bored with you easily. Like, why are you telling me to hurry up? It's a culture. So, to me, it's just like I'm clapping for you. You know,
Oh, it-
there was one word that I used, I've forgotten, but it got somebody pissed off, and I later told the person, I didn't mean like that.
yeah.
It's a normal thing for me as an African, so don't take it too far, too high.
Don't take it
So
personal.
yeah. So culturally, there is a big difference. In Africa or particularly in Ghana, we are people who care for everybody.
Yeah,
So your mother's son or daughter is a son or daughter for the community.
of
So
course.
your auntie or a woman passing somewhere when she sees you making a mistake can whoop your ass.
Oh
But
yeah,
here, but here it's not like that.
yeah,
It's individualistic. Go
yeah,
your way. If you see people fighting, don't involve yourself. Don't say, "Hey, stop! Somebody will get hurt." Blah blah blah. It doesn't concern you. Just go your way.
yeah.
Yeah. For instance, in Ghana, if I sit in a bus like a trotro and I
Mhm.
find that an old woman is in, I could stand up and give my seat to the person. But
Definitely.
here, you wouldn't find it like that. People are more like individualistic and I don't want to say they are self-centered because it would be wrong, but their culture is like that. The old woman can stand and the young guy is seated. Yeah. And with people like us too, sometimes you sit in a bus and you wouldn't find people sitting by you. It shouldn't worry you
Oh,
because
I thought it was just Germany.
no. It's their own thing. So you shouldn't be worried.
Oh,
Why is nobody sitting by you and all? Like just forget about it. Yeah. But in my school, there's one school for international students.
okay.
So we have so many people from everywhere, Asia, blah blah blah, so many countries, and it was so awesome. So I would say my best friend on campus was an Indian. And
Oh,
he's a very good guy. Yeah.
okay.
So you meet a lot of people, and you have to just blend yourself with them. Forgo where you're coming from, and now see the bigger picture. Because your colleague can be your employee tomorrow, or your colleague can be somebody who needs to connect to you tomorrow. So you just
Yeah,
have
Yeah.
be more open, and to people. And imagine if you are somebody like me who wants to contest for leadership position on campus for
Mm.
graduate students, all
Yeah.
graduate students, you need to campaign across board. You need to
Definitely.
relate with people,
Yeah.
open up to people, and all. So with the cultural aspect, that is how it is. There are a lot of people from different cultural backgrounds on campus, but you need to be able to know how to relate with each and everybody, know how you speak with each and everybody. What is okay for you might not be okay for somebody. So
Definitely.
know how you talk,
So,
and when
yeah.
somebody tells you he or she is offended, don't feel bad about it, but just apologize and move on. Get to learn from people like that. That is absolutely it. But one thing that the MBA does is that, to me, for instance, they break us into groups, and
Okay.
wherever group that you find yourself, you find different people in there. So I think throughout my school 2 years, I was in like 4 or 5 different groups with different people all the time. So it makes you learn from different people, and at the end of the day, the various teams to we comment on people, so you get to learn what you did wrong and what you did right and what you
Yeah.
could do better tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that was it. That is
Oh,
about culture for me. Yeah. And
nice.
I would say that today the food that I like best is Indian food. It's called biryani,
Biryani.
because yeah,
Biryani.
yeah, biryani, because they introduced me to it, and they
Wait.
have this kind of juice called mango lassi or something like that. It's so
Oh,
nice.
I see.
So it's good you blend well with different cultures.
Yeah.
And every
Yeah.
time I want to go eat biryani because they are going out, so I want to go have
Oh,
some eat it.
that's very good.
Yeah.
So, what's in your Ghana jollof? Eh?
Yeah. But still Ghana Jollof. Okay, Ghana Jollof is the point.
Over Nigeria jollof.
Ghana Jollof. When Nigeria people listen to this video, they will cause trouble for you.
Yeah, they'll cause trouble. Cause trouble. Yeah. Yeah, I understand because in my case, I also have a lot of like Indian and Pakistani friends. I
Yeah.
lot of their food.
Uh-huh.
So said chicken biryani,
Yeah.
chicken marasaka. I mean, they
Marcella or something like that. Yeah.
or something. Yeah, so I had to try like different foods. I
Yeah.
experienced their culture. So
Yeah.
it's quite,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes the way they dress, if there's like intercultural, like clothes,
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really nice, learn the other person's culture,
Yeah.
things from a different perspective or,
Yeah.
lands. I think it's really nice,
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It
Definitely,
is.
definitely. Okay, thank you very much for
You're
sharing.
welcome.
We can relate on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would like to move on to the optimal practical training, which is
Okay.
also the OPT.
Yeah.
Will you provide information on OPT and how it benefits international students?
Okay. So whilst I was coming here, what I learned was that OPT gives you the opportunity to, at the end of your studies, work like a year in the
Okay,
US. Yes. So it's also dependent on your courses. So if you are doing OPT, you have to have some number of courses that you are supposed to accomplish at the end of the day.
all right.
And uh, we have is it CPT or something? I've forgotten. But people who are like international students could relate to it. It's
They will know,
CPT.
yeah.
That one is used for like internship. So whilst you are on campus studying, if you want to apply for internship, that is
Okay.
what you use to apply for internship, and that gives you like a year to be
Okay.
that. So I got an internship with World Strides last year, and to be frank, I got there and I met so many Ghanaians, so many Ghanaians.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So if you're an international student and you're listening to this and you're in the US or you're coming to the US, one thing that I'll tell you is that internships in the US, you need to apply them like a year beforehand.
Oh
So if you
wow.
want to get a 2025 internship, you need to apply them now. So if you have gotten admissions, this is the time you apply for internship. You don't wait till 2025 before you start to apply for internship. You are late. Nobody will even mind you. So you
Okay.
need to apply for them now. And there are various places that you could find, like on LinkedIn, on Handshake. Yeah, you could find internship opportunities there that you could apply to.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
so that is for the CPT. And
Yeah.
we have OPT. OPT is when you are done with school.
All
So
right.
when you're about to complete, I think 3 months to your completion or something, you need to apply for OPT, and
Okay.
it gives you an employment authorization card. I think it costs around $400 for the normal processing, and it costs around $1,000 or so if you want it like um, fast. For them to work on it fast for you, it costs around $1,000. So
Okay.
um, that is it. But if you're a STEM person, at the end of your 1 year OPT, you have another year to apply to extend. So that is the difference between the STEM and the OPT. So the
Oh,
STEM gives you kind of like a 2 years OPT, but with the normal ones, it gives you just a year of OPT.
oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
that is
Interesting.
that is basically the difference.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, thank you very much for the insights, going into details. I mean, I've learned a lot from this, and I must say I'm considering pursuing MBA, maybe not in the US because I'm scared of something,
Oh, no, no, no! Don't worry, don't worry. Those things are
Considering what,
normal. Just those things are normal. Every society has its issues.
of
Like, and
course.
you can attest to the fact that Germany has their issues.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Ghana has their issues. Even Ghana we have our own issues. So,
Definitely,
um,
definitely,
it's just about you going your normal way and praying to God that no harm comes to you at the end of the day.
definitely. I mean,
Yeah,
if something will happen to you, if you are in your room, it will happen to you.
nothing will happen
The
to you.
outside,
Yeah,
it's fine.
yeah.
So, no matter
So,
where you are, if something will
yeah,
happen, it will happen. So
yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah,
I definitely agree with you.
yeah,
And thank you very much for throwing light on all these things.
yeah.
So do you have any final advice or any final thoughts for someone who is considering pursuing an MBA or a master's degree in the USA?
First of all, I didn't thank your audience when I started. So
Go
I would
ahead.
like to thank you first for the opportunity that you've given me to be able to share my journey here. There is more to be shared, but I know like we have limited time, so we cannot share more. Maybe I'll come sometime later. And also thank you to your listeners for watching this. I'll tell them to subscribe and like, because this is just the beginning of something great. And if you are part of it earlier, it helps. So you know the journey of where it is going. So we thank you for watching and for listening to us. I would say the advice that I would give to people is that you don't know what will happen if you don't try. So just try, give it a try. Take an action, take a bold decision. Um, when you get your admissions, you might not get a full scholarship, you might not get everything. So don't say, "Hey, I wouldn't go for the visa process." Give it a try. Nobody knows what will happen. If people are going to Ghana and they are being rejected, that is not you. You could go to Cote d'Ivoire, you could go to Guinea Conakry, you could go to anywhere for your visa interview, and it will come through for you. So it's something that is worthy of pursuing. Don't think that is not worthy of pursuing, unless maybe you're in Ghana and you feel like, oh, you are better off like with everything that you are doing, you're better off. That is fine. But to people who are like me, who are Antemba like me, I know you understand. Those
Me,
watching who are from Ghana,
so yeah,
yeah, Timber like me, I
yeah,
would just tell you to take a bold step.
yeah,
You don't know what will happen at the end of that bold step, so just take that bold step. I know finances will be a challenge, but if you take it at every point in time, God will come through for you.
for
Yes,
sure.
so just take that bold step, and
Definitely.
everything will work out. We personally, we are not even there yet, but we are hoping that we'll be there. But for how far we've come, we are appreciative to share with you that, hey, there is something good somewhere. So
Yeah,
yeah, come and enjoy some. Just take that bold step, and everything will be fine. Yeah,
definitely, definitely. It's very key. I mean, to at least share your experiences with others, even
mm-hmm.
though we are not as where we want to be yet.
Yeah, yeah,
There are certain things we've learned, certain things we
yeah,
can share with people just to
yeah,
help one out there, which is
yeah,
great
yeah,
because I mean, you and I growing up, it wasn't easy.
yeah,
So
sure,
come this far, it just
yeah,
takes a while to give information out there and help someone out there.
yeah,
So thank you so much, Mayor
yeah.
or Senior, for honoring our invitation. I
Thank you,
say I've really, really enjoyed this conversation.
thank you too. I appreciate it.
No time will not permit us to, go deep into
Yeah,
deep and
yeah.
talk about things. So, guys, if there is any other thing that you want us to cover, just pop in the comment
Yeah,
section.
Yeah, and we'll come back. We'll come back to talk about it. Yeah.
We can invite Ima here to throw light on it.
Yeah.
So until we meet again, I'll say bye, guys, and don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to press the bell notification. Put in your comment if you have any question, and I will say thank you so much, Ima. I really, really appreciate
Thank you too.
coming on, and
So-
bringing.
sorry for making you miss your match.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, it's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
they are doing it for the people. I'm going to watch the second half.
Okay. That's great.
It's all good. It's all good. So thank you so much. I really appreciate
It, I appreciate it.
and trying to make an impact that matters. I must say, I really, really appreciate it.
Thank
And
you. I appreciate you.
we wish you all the best. And then until we meet again, I will say bye.
Bye bye.